Often, veterans of war have to deal with physical scars and injuries, but as many as 500,000 also live with invisible wounds. Post-traumatic stress disorder can not only affect the service member, but their family as well.
Christmas Day, 5 or 6 hours after I got engaged, I got alerted for orders to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
The day he got home from Cuba, the first time I saw him, I knew something was wrong. And then when he came back from Iraq, it didn't get any better.
To me, it was just a little anxiety, because that's all I really felt. I didn't think the anger or depression or anything was that big a deal.
But the truth is, my husband has PTSD. My children and I manage that.
4 or 5 months maybe after I got home, my wife left her email account open, and I saw 2 emails with our pastor. Just said, "Can you please pray for me and Bill? Things are tough." If I knew Bill was gonna be like this, I would not have married him.
For a long time, he just held it together. We all held it together. But there's a big difference between that and thriving. Very big difference.
I found out about the Warrior Care Network through Wounded Warrior Project.
I like to say that I feel like he came back to life.
We would like to welcome Bill to the show. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for being here. Also joining us today is Mike Richardson, Vice President of Mental Health Programs at Wounded Warrior Project. He is also a veteran himself. Gentlemen, thank you both so very much for being here today.
So Bill, tell us about the experience that led to your PTSD.
Well, in 2002, I was deployed to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. While I was there, I was put on a special detail that used enhanced interrogation techniques. Then in 2004, I was deployed to Iraq, where we encountered rocket attacks and detainee riots.
Unbelievable stress.
It is, but you don't have, you know, in that situation, you don't have time to process. You don't process. You have a job to do. You put your boots on and you get back to work.
Mike, I want to ask you how Wounded Warrior Project helps folks like Bill, everything that he's been through.
We have programming in mental health, long-term rehabilitative care, career counseling and job placement, as well as physical health and wellness. And then in our mental health side, we partnered with some of the top academic medical centers across the country.
We see you out there. It appears that your program is extremely successful.
Yeah, our mental health outcomes are extraordinarily impactful. And then we engage warriors, we get them thriving in their communities when they return home.
To put this in perspective, more than 1 in 3 service members lives with PTSD. And the psychiatric issue can occur when experiencing or witnessing any life-threatening or otherwise traumatic event. With military combat, there's a constant risk of death, injury, depression, or combat-related stress. Service members may see others hurt, even killed, or they may have to kill or wound others. So they're constantly on alert, constantly stressed. I'm talking around the clock and far away from home for long periods of time without the support they need.
And with PTSD, many may relive the trauma through nightmares or flashbacks and may become upset when confronted with a reminder or have recurring thoughts of the trauma, or a person may shy away from places or people that bring reminders of the trauma. That's called avoidance and may cause isolation. It can cause feelings of detachment, but it can also cause estrangement from those that care for them. Another symptom of PTSD is feeling on guard all the time, irritability, or startling easily. And you're doing some groundbreaking research when it comes to PTSD. Mike, tell us about that.
Yeah, we know treatment works, but Wounded Warrior Project is investing in biomarker research, which will really transform the treatment of mental health. By identifying specific biomarkers that indicate the prevalence of PTSD as well as the effectiveness of the treatment, based on one's biology, you can better target that treatment.
Bill, you mentioned that Wounded Warrior Project has literally changed your life. Tell us about that.
To me, it's always been about being around other veterans. When you get discharged or retired, you lose the camaraderie. So not only have I learned skills to cope with PTSD and to work on thriving and not just living, you know, I learned that I'm not alone, right? There's other warriors. So anytime I get a chance to be around other veterans, people that are
having the same struggles, fighting the same demons. You look at other guys that have come a long way in their journey, and you say, you know what? They're really striving, and if they can do it, then so can I.
Strength in numbers.
Always.
I love hearing that, and I do want to add, Mike, there's a very special aspect to the program. Tell us about that.
Our warriors never pay a penny for any of our life-changing programs. They pay their dues on the battlefield.
That's so true. How can vets access your resources?
Yeah, please go to online, woundedwarriorproject.org for more information. And remember, treatment works.
Mike, Bill, thank you both so very much.
Thank you for your service
We really appreciate
and
it.
ongoing service, both of you.